Welcome back to McKillip Life. My name is Amber,
And I'm West.
and this is Happy
Happy
YouTube
YouTube
Birthday
birthday
to
to us.
Us, year number 2.
In the books.
Yep, so this is the official day that we posted our first video.
2 years ago.
I looked up online and it said we've actually been a YouTube channel since 2022, but we weren't consistently posting any videos until 23. So here we are. We thought we'd sit down and have a time of reflection over the last year and all that's happened. Well, not all. We didn't take notes or make a big sermon on about everything. But
Well, there's a lot that's been happening. Last year on our YouTube anniversary, we were living in a different location in the middle of an insurance claim. And guess what? We're back home, but we're in the middle of a different insurance claim. Thanks to a hailstorm, you can look back to our June videos and see what happened. We're still working on cleaning that one up.
yep. So the last birthday video, um, we were in a rental, and our house was still being put back together from the water damage. And so the beginning of that year of videos is us navigating the process of construction and contracts and walkthroughs and all that sort of thing, getting our house back. And then a good portion of it in the end of January was their official move back time of resetting up our home, going through everything, because it's always a good opportunity to declutter and consider if you need something when you're unpacking your house. So that was a good portion of the beginning of the year.
There was a lot going on last year.
Yep. And then I think on and off this last year, we've spent time over at West's mom house, caring for her as she went through different medical procedures. We are her main local caregivers, so if things happen, we end up over there.
Well, this is also about the first year since we've been married that someone in our immediate family hasn't had major surgery, too.
Yeah, there's been little minor surgeries, but nothing major. And then, like we said, in June, we had the big hailstorm that damaged both the home roof and our storage building roof, totaled 2 different cars. And as of right now, the roofs are taken care of, but the collateral damage has not been. So,
We were in our area, we were lucky here in town. We were one of the few places that did not have windows broken out. The big hailstorm was probably somewhere in excess of 30 minutes with tennis ball plus size hail. It came up at about 2 a.m. in the morning. Big surprise, everyone was asleep when it hit, and there were very few people left asleep after it hit.
yep. So, we're even now talking to the contractor about when somebody's going to come out and work on our gutters and our siding and a door. We had a metal door that got damaged in the house. So that's still in the works. We're still waiting. So, what 4 months? 4 months ago be?
Probably August.
Okay, so that happened in June, and then shortly after 4th of July, we adopted Toby, which means earlier than that, we made the decision of putting Dutch down.
Yeah, it was the 1st of July. Y'all may remember our white, fluffy puppy, Dutch. He's had problems of going blind and pancreatitis and several other health issues. He was an older puppy. He was probably 12-ish, but he had led a rough life. He was a rescue. We don't know how his life started. But he ended up getting sick several times, and at the end, it was when we were taking him to the vet, we were helping him get restored, but it was only lasting 3 or 4 weeks at a time, and he was so bad, he was running into stuff, he was just really miserable. So we made the decision the last time he got sick that we had to decide that what are we restoring him to? It's not a healthy life. So we went ahead and ended his misery, and it was a hard time for us. And about 6 weeks later, we adopted Toby.
Hmm. Yeah. The whole process of, when we had the house stuff happen, we really wondered whether or not Dutch would ever come back home because he was having so much problems, even in the rental, just running into things and being lost and being scared. Um,
We'd,
so,
we'd often said we wished he would have lost his hearing instead of his sight.
yep, it would have been a lot less scary for him. So we were amazed that he even came home and we had some time with him. But it was a long, lingering process and decision about when was the right time to say goodbye. But I know we adopted Toby after 4th of July because I remember thinking about him and wondering how he was doing at the rescue during the 4th of July and all the fireworks. But he wasn't home with us at that point because I was still thinking and wondering how he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So shortly after 4th of July, then we adopted Toby, and he's had a long process. He's 3 years old, and ours was the first.
They estimate he was 3 years old when
Yeah.
we got him.
Ours is his first home and his first being inside, so he didn't have the concept of inside versus outside. So the potty training has
Been
a
challenging.
long, lingering thing. For a while there, he was perfectly potty trained unless it was raining outside. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't like getting his paws wet and won't go outside. And then he started going to the bathroom in the house. And so we have a semi-permanent gate on our kitchen so that when anybody is gone and the dogs need to be unsupervised, we can put them in the kitchen so they have access to the backyard at all times. And it limits his space. So if he decides to have an accident, then it'll at least only be in the kitchen. And I think Snickers is still resentful over the whole thing. She really hates the gate and hates being separated from people. But for our peace of mind, it's better that they have some restrictions like that.
They get along fine together. They had no problems getting together. Toby actually tries to get Snickers to play, and she actually will play some.
Yeah, her health is actually doing better because of him. Because he plays with her, and they chase and they tumble, and she's lost weight, and the vet's really happy about how she's doing. So it's not them being stuck in there together. It's her being separated from people that she doesn't like. If there's any idea that there's a person somewhere in the house and she's not with them, then she is very upset.
So Toby's a little Yorkie. If any of y'all have any tips or tricks for Yorkies, please let us know.
Yeah, and from the moment we got him, he was having vomiting issues, and since then we've gone through the vet processes and everything, and they've basically came down and said his stomach is slow to empty. It's slow gastric emptying. But the reason why it is and what to do about it is still up in the air. Our current solution is just to feed him smaller meals more frequently. And most of the time it works. Yesterday was not the greatest of days. He had a upset stomach all day long.
We tend to notice when he gets overexcited and drinks a whole lot, it's not a real regurgitate. It just comes back up real quick.
It's regurgitation. It's not vomit.
Yes.
But you can feel him, and he's in great condition. He's not suffering like it. And their x-rays and everything proved that the food's going through him. It just takes a really long time.
His favorite place in the whole house is in Amber's lap.
Mm-hmm. He's not too picky because there's plenty of nights where I sit down and Wes sits down and he comes over and chooses to sit on Wes' lap. So it's not like he won't go to other people. Especially if I'm busy with crochet and my arms are too
If she's
busy,
moving too much,
then he wants to be left alone and he'll come sit on Wes' lap because Wes usually pats him and then leaves him alone. Whereas I'm constantly moving or usually petting him. But So that was July-ish sometimes. And then in August, we announced the big news that we were starting a new channel. And we were spinning off my hobby content or my creative content onto that channel because I felt like it was kind of overtaking this channel and taking the spotlight off of just life things. So at Amber McKillip, you can find crochet content, painting content, sewing content. That's what I've done so far, and who knows what else I'll end up doing. I know I definitely have a sewing project coming up I want to work on, and there's always crochet going on. But we would love it if you were interested in that content to follow that channel and to see what I get up to. But I think overall it's freed up this channel to focus more on life. And so here the content is typically home projects, garden projects, recipes, pet updates, health updates.
Amber's an amazing cook. If you have any suggestions on your favorite dish you'd like to see us try or video, let us know.
I'm always interested in trying new dishes, but we're also in the middle of trying to lose weight. So that does throw a wrench in trying new dishes sometimes.
That means if you have any healthy dishes.
Healthier. Yeah. It's not like we don't eat whatever we want occasionally, especially in the months of November and December. We're finding it challenging to only eat according to the calories we have set because there are so many celebrations in November. There's been 6 days we couldn't record, and it's going to be even more than that in December. I counted, and I want to say it's either 7 or 9 days we can't record.
Well, between family, friends, church, the holiday meals and gatherings started about November 10th, just because that was one of the groups we're in at church. It's just because they decided to do it then because everyone else had so much stuff going on. After that, as you get closer to Christmas, we've got Christmas parties, we got family meals, we just got gatherings. And I'm not complaining. I'm glad that we have all the people to be around and the fellowship and the friends and family. It's just letting you know what's going on.
Yeah, we prayed for years for community, and this is definitely an answer to that. We have community and we have groups that we're involved in. But then there's always the challenge of community, especially when it comes to eating. So but we're just taking it one day at a time and doing our best to try to live in such a way that creates health in our life and promotes health.
Okay, it'll be the first real Christmas for our grandson. He's 1 year old now. Last year at Christmas, he was 5 months and really hadn't sunk into him. He is very mobile, active, and happy now.
Well, he was happy before too, but it's just, he's loving life. And it'll be interesting having basically a toddler at Christmas. So it's very challenging to predict what's going to happen in the next coming year on YouTube, other than we are planning on continuing to show up and continuing to share our life. And like we said, we'd love to continue to grow this community. So if you know anybody you think might be interested in our videos, feel free to share. And we'd love to have more conversations in the comments below. We always appreciate input or just camaraderie and cheering us on.
Any feedback?
Any feedback. We would love to know where you're tuning in from. We are filming from Texas. And I believe we have at least a couple of my family members on the different coasts of the United States. So it'd be fun if you chime in below and let us know where you're tuning in from and what part of our content you're most interested in.
We'd be curious to see how many states are tuning in and even how many countries are tuning in.
Yep.
We have no plans for any more puppies next year, but we do have plans to live more life.
Yep. So until next time, feel free to like and subscribe, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.